Economists generally agree that there are three components to productivity: cost, quality, and quantity. They also agree that there are three circumstances under which productivity increases. First, the cost of production declines while quality remains constant. That is, it costs less to produce each widget. Second, the cost of production is stable while quality improves. In other words, each widget costs the same to produce, but the organization produces a better widget. And third, the cost of production declines and the quality improves. That is, the firm produces better widget and it costs less to do so. These productivity principles are still true in the new global competition. But while economists may agree on these principles, in the real world, we face a conundrum. Like the old Miller Lite commercials, tastes great, less filling, we are perhaps destined to argue about productivity in terms of quantity, that is, reduced costs, versus quality, enhanced content and instruction. More frequently today, the benefits of technology are increasingly measured by the link between technology and productivity. But there is still the fact that under traditional economic models, investments in technology are supposed to improve productivity, with quality going up and costs coming down. But some organizations today focus on the potential of technology to reduce the costs, while other organizations emphasize the potential of technology to enhance the quality of process and output. Since both nature and markets abhor a vacuum, this diversion of global competition makes the marketplace increasingly tricky and mobile. This is why the pursuit of sustainable growth and market leadership requires a future-oriented focus and long-term commitments to all your stakeholders: customers, employees, supplier partners, investors, the public, and your local community. Our organizations must be capable of anticipating a myriad of issues: customer expectations, new business and partnering opportunities, workforce development and hiring needs, technological developments, changes in customer and market segments, evolving regulatory requirements, and changes in community and societal expectations and needs. Oh, and the competitor's strategic moves. All these things, but with a global perspective. With the needs of all the organization's stakeholders in mind, an organization's leadership has to establish directions, create a customer focus, set clear and visible values, and assert high expectations. The values and strategies are to guide the organization's activities and decisions and help to inspire, motivate, and encourage the entire workforce to contribute, to develop and learn, and to be innovative. It is especially important to note that research shows leaders of successful organizations possess the ability to think and plan strategically. This is the difference between a process-oriented manager and a true leader. Strategic thinking requires visioning. That is, the process of looking into the future and identifying end results and the scenarios that help move an organization toward those results. It requires knowledge of situational analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities of the organization, and the threats it faces as well. Effective leaders think long-term and see the big picture. They know to ask what-if questions so that they are prepared for potential contingencies. They know how to find and evaluate opportunities, and they know seeing an opportunity is the easy part. The real challenge lies in seizing it. To optimize the prospects for success, there are 4 key questions these leaders ask before pursuing a promising initiative. Question 1, what is the opportunity? This is fundamental and should be easy to answer. When a clear or compelling answer can't be found, it signals that you haven't yet articulated a clear customer need or settled on a business plan that makes financial sense while providing an advantage over competitors. The best answers to this question link back to changes in a broader context, like technology, the economy, or society, to spur demand for new products and services or revealing better ways to meet existing needs. For example, increasing disposable income and growing health concerns spurred a demand for bottled water in China, an opportunity seized upon by Groupe Danone. Question 2 is, have you standardized the key operating procedures? The creation of standard operating procedures for such key activities as attracting and retaining customers, keeping your costs down, or differentiating the organization from rivals makes an organization more efficient. Predictable execution ensures that customer service, production, and supply processes won't break down under a new direction. Standardizing is best done across 5 distinct elements of an organization. First, processes are the repeated procedures you use to get the work done, like product manufacturing, product delivery, and less formal ones, such as decision-making. Standardizing processes increases efficiency, enables tasks to be replicated, and facilitates coordination among partners, suppliers, and different parts of an organization. For an example, Intel adopted a cookie-cutter approach to fabrication that ensures a chip from one plant would be identical to the same product produced at another facility. Second, frames are the mental models that focus employees' attention. Examples include identification of the company's competitors, targeted customers, criteria for selecting retail sites, and key performance indicators. Setting common frames ensures an organization that its employees have common goals. Third is standardizing resources, which includes tangible assets such as factories and intangible assets like brands and technology. For example, Ryanair, JetBlue, and Virgin America Airlines all stock their fleets with a single plane model, like the Boeing 737-800, to speed turnaround times at airports and allow flight and service crews to shift from one aircraft to another with ease. Fourth, standardizing relationships with those outside of an organization, customers, regulators, suppliers, and distributors, minimizes the cost of haggling over the terms of every deal while ensuring consistent quality across a variety of partnerships. A franchise contract is a common example of such standardization. Fifth is standardizing around the right culture. This establishes shared norms that unite and inspire employees. Knowing what actions to take fuels loyalty, strengthens bonds with customers who share the organization's values, and induces employees to do the right thing without elaborate control systems. Question 3 is, how will you manage constraints? Even with focus and standardization, you will always encounter constraints to seizing an opportunity. Many of these are minor annoyances that only slow progress. However, binding constraints can create bottlenecks that bring operations to a grinding halt. They can emerge from several sources, including a team skilled in starting an opportunity, but inexperienced in expanding it. Often internal resources are the problem, and the organization can't scale while building everything it needs in-house. In this case, outsourcing peripheral activities will allow management to focus their time, attention, and resources on core tasks that will increase their odds of successfully seizing an opportunity. A good example of this is Brazil's Embraer, which specializes in regional jets with 30 to 120 seats, a niche in which larger jet makers Boeing and Airbus don't compete. When the company developed its second-generation aircraft, it worked closely with a small number of partners that produced entire subsystems, eliminating more than 300 component suppliers. These subsystem contractors bore nearly 2/3 of the total development load for the new jet, allowing Embraer to focus on managing customer relationships and designing an overall system to meet clients' needs. The fourth question is, how will you absorb bumps in the road? Even if managers do everything right, their organizations may still face unanticipated challenges. Seizing an opportunity has been described as building a rocket as it is taking off. Decisions must be made quickly, and mistakes usually lead to crashes. Prudent leaders have some hedges against unforeseen contingencies. A few of the most important are a strong balance sheet. A war chest of cash and marketable securities on the balance sheet can serve as the perfect hedge against unexpected threats. Low fixed costs. Instilling financial and operating discipline in an organization allows it to weather unexpected downturns and preserves the war chest. Related diversification. Any organization is open to a shock in their markets. Diversification can provide a buffer, like diversifying in the markets you serve, so you can build on a shared set of resources, such as technology, production, and distribution. Embraer and Boeing, for example, diversify their market risk by producing both military and commercial aircraft that share certain design features and production processes. Strong partners vested in your success. One of the easiest ways to fail when pursuing new direction is to try to go it alone. The right partner not only can help anticipate possible binding constraints, but also help overcome them. An increasingly important aspect of an organization's leadership in the competitive global economy is its job as a role model for ethics and protection of public health, safety, and the environment. This includes the broad range of operations, life cycles of products and services, resource conservation, and waste reduction. Planning must anticipate adverse impacts from production, distribution, transportation, use, and disposal of products, including effective planning to prevent problems, provided for a forthright response if problems occur, and making available information and support needed to maintain public awareness, safety, and confidence. Organizations should not only meet all local, state, and federal laws and regulatory requirements, but treat these and related requirements as an opportunity to appeal to like-minded customers. For many organizations, the product or service design stage is critical from the point of view of public responsibility. Design decisions impact production processes and often the content of municipal and industrial waste. Effective design strategies should anticipate growing environmental concerns and responsibilities. The recent spate of Chinese product recalls is an example of losing this focus. Leadership as a corporate citizen not only means stressing ethical behavior in all stakeholder transactions and interactions, but it also entails supporting the local community within the limits of publicly important issues and resources, like improving local education and healthcare, environmental excellence, practicing resource conservation, community service, and influencing other organizations, private and public, to partner for these purposes. In the new global competitive economy, an organization's success is determined by its customers, and customer satisfaction takes into account all your product and service features and characteristics, as well as all modes of customer access that deliver them value. To succeed, therefore, an organization must pay attention to a variety of areas, especially customer acquisition, satisfaction, their preferences, referrals, retention, and loyalty. And the focus must be both current and future-oriented, understanding today's customers' desires while anticipating future desires and marketplace potential. Customer-driven organizations address not only the product and service characteristics that meet basic customer requirements, but also those features and characteristics that differentiate their products and services from the competition. Such differentiation should be based on new or modified offerings, combinations of offerings, multiple access mechanisms, and rapid response. Doing this requires a product-service strategy encompassing customer retention and loyalty, market share and growth, and constant sensitivity to changing and emerging customer and market requirements. Remember that the major factors that drive customer satisfaction and loyalty are listening to your customers and anticipating changes in the marketplace. The objective is to gather information that will lead to innovations in your products and services. But just having a bright idea is not sufficient, because true innovation must result in offerings that your customers want because they see significant value to them. This is why having direct access to your customers to try out new ideas and technologies is a great advantage. Organizations that do this well turn their customer sites into their own research laboratories, because understanding your customers' pain points is the source of novel ideas, and the customer site becomes the ideal place to pilot them. This is key. Customers can help an organization articulate and drive their innovation agenda. There are two kinds of innovation to consider: core and disruptive. First is core. That is, ideas that apply to the organization's core business. It is very direct and deliberate, a traditional approach to looking for ideas that advance how you do business today. The second approach is disruptive to traditional processes. It is one that embraces ideas that require new ways of looking at return on investment. It is disruptive because it asks the organization to maintain its core approach, but at the same time tests new ways of doing things. It is said the test of an intelligent person is being able to hold two opposing ideas in your head at the same time and still function. This is key to disruptive innovation, and it is risky. A sound formula for innovation is C plus E, creativity plus entrepreneurship. There are 4 principles to creating such an environment within an organization. First, maintaining an inclusive and diverse team. Second, dreaming with your customer. Third, reaching out to subject matter experts, customers, users, to everyone. 4, not being afraid to fail, because organizations have a tough time finding successful organizations. They need to fail a lot, but to fail forward, because failing once doesn't teach you anything. You must fail several times to really learn something new. As an example, Kraft organizes luncheons where employees discuss something that has failed. The object is to use this learning to turn failure into a success. Kraft has also set up a website for innovators, employees, and customers, innovatewithkraft.com. Check it out. In implementing a successful innovation, a 15% gain will pay for everything. One big home run usually covers all expenses of all the failures. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to risk. But also scream about your successes, as Cisco has done about their recent successes, Scientific Atlanta and Linksys. In this fast-paced, globalized world, innovation is essential. It is creating a high-performance culture that inspires people to feel safe to take risks. Be part of it. In conclusion, nations and organizations that want to succeed in this new world must learn to view global competition as opportunity. The opportunity to become better, to reach for higher standards. The focus must be on delivering ever-increasing value to customers and stakeholders by improving organization and employee effectiveness, by expanding their capacities and learning with specific direction on leadership, innovation, customer focus, collaboration, and human resources. It sounds daunting, and in truth, it is very hard work, but it can be accomplished by strategic initiatives that address these 5 key challenges: visionary leadership, innovation in products and processes, customer-driven excellence, outsourcing and partnering strategies, and new approaches to human resources. We have discussed 3 of the challenges. In the next module, I will address outsourcing and new approaches to human resources. Thank you.